mean, talking about, you know, he kind of wrapped it up in the end where he said like a historic tale of the Sudanese or whatever. He said the tales of Sudan, like people gathering battalions through kids and killing the ones that aren't suited for fighting. I mean, that kind of shit goes on in the world. Leave it to Vinny Paz to fucking point out something to make you feel real bad for people in the world. I mean, he does really expose a lot of the injustices in the world. I don't understand a lot of it, but that my empathy kicks in. It's like, holy fuck, what was he thinking when he was writing that? I mean, it's powerful as usual. It's loud. It's aggressive. It's some flex bars thrown in there with some history, kind of like Cannabis does, where he intermingles little presence within lyrical fitness. I like the structure. Short tune, 16 break, 16. I like that format. I'm going to give it an 8. What are you saying, Chuck?
Okay, so yeah, there were a few bars that were like sprinkled in there that, you know, had some like serious weight to them, but like they felt like they were just kind of dropped in there and didn't make any sense that they were there. You like that line, you know, that history of the broken land with the Sudanese, like,
yeah,
it seemed out of place entirely, you know, especially since it was just like literally one line and in the midst of a bunch of flex, you know, like it wasn't even a full bar, you know, and it's kind of like, okay, like if you want to talk about it, but you know, it seems weird to kind of randomly sprinkle that in there,
yeah,
you know, and you know, the delivery was nice, and you know, he did his thing, he did what he did, but you know, aside from maybe if I go back and listen to it again, there is more there, but you know, aside from, you know, those things that are kind of sprinkled in there, it kind of didn't really feel like he was saying anything, and like the things he did say just seemed kind of random and out of place instead of trying to actually make a point, you know.
Okay.
So
what are you giving that?
I'm gonna say I'm going to say 7 1/4, and give this to Gavlin.
Gavlin and DJ Hoppa is who I was going to vote for, but the vote closed as I was about to vote, but it was already 56% for Lethal. So Lethal has won a C. Lethal, you're going to MC Olympics in 3 weeks on April 7th. Congratulations. At the end of this podcast, I will release a short, as I usually do, to declare the winners. Next battle that we got, guys, is from
Me vs. LP.
Lady Poetic and Chuck. We got 2 co-hosts on the show. That's awesome. That's awesome.
I want to see what LP's got here.
Diabolic, eh? Who's this?
Conscious Daughters.
Oh, yeah, okay. Let's get into the Conscious Daughters. Princess of Poetry going against Chuck, Loyle, Carner, Polyphila. This is the Conscious Daughters by LP. Who's going to win the seed out of the Battle of the Hosts? Female
Kick the real shit. I say play 'em and play 'em low and KO fade 'em. I made 'em know. Ladies be afraid of the fatal flow. I blow the top off the mic when I'm rapping. Can't hit the flow and show these bitches what happened. Yo, special to run with the
That
wrong with
aged
me?
really
Trying
well.
to hit me, frontin' and stunting and hunting, but helpers never did me. Cause when you find me, I'm doing the lynching, and then I ask you how it sound to ya. I break it down to ya. So check the scene of a crime. She tried to kick a line. Cops are searching for the weapon. It's a fatal rhyme. They got me in for questioning. Somebody dropped a dime, but I ain't telling them shit. Cause I'm down for mine. Chill in the April 7 top bunk, fucking bitches up. Cause I ain't a punk. So what up, chump? And when I'm out, I'll be harder to fuck with. So flow with me, the princess of poetry is rough, ho. Yeah, what you know about that? 1990 motherfucking 3.
That's going on
Yeah.
the playlist, Iggy.
It definitely sounds like 93, but it's still fucking dope.
2006, 93, yep.
Yeah, it's 93.
My favorite year.
I like that little drum break.
So good.
Princess, the poetry. If you don't know me by the tape and the flow with me, kick the shit for the O with me, homie. They don't know me, but they thought they knew me. Who could do me? Truly a fool would be schooled if you step into me. Cause I days, what up, I don't need praise. Plus, I get up, fuck it up, come up, then raise up. I kept them in check and have them stepping with weapons for safety. The mic ain't a game, you can't play me. So step aside if I help aside in the first place. I'm not a bitch out.
I think LP's got this one.
Yeah. I just had a glorious idea.
It's the princess of poetry. It's the princess of poetry.
9.3, maybe 9.5. Fuck it, I'm giving you 9.5.
So now you know the special one at CMG. Conscious daughters for the 9 tray, and we out.
Like, this is what I crave. This is that beat, the sample mix it where they're shredding the mix, so it does that weird like kind of whoop 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 kind of sound. I love that era of hip hop. 93 is great. This is what I want from women. This is all I want from, not all. I want much more. but this is a.
Let's leave that alone.
I caught that just in time. Maybe a bit too late. I want more of this.
We'll move on. Yes.
This thing, like in these times, I want this aggression coming out.
We can move on.
Okay, great. I loved it. It's a 9.3. Best song that I've heard in weeks. I love the aggression. I love the bars. I love the back and forth, how they went 8 bars and switched up and went back and forth, really cohesive, going back and forth. I love the attitude. I love the honesty. I love the brutality. This would have caused a scene in 93. You know, because it was still pretty old school in 93, man, for women's rights and women's art and all that stuff. I'm sure they had some battles to go through releasing music like this in that era at their age. Respect. I love it. Thank you, Lady Poetic. That, by the way, I had an idea. AK, since you're watching, can we add 9s from MC Olympics and Temple of Bars to the honor roll? Like, why not? Why not have those songs on both playlists is what I'm thinking. I put it in the playlist if you so choose to do so. Chuck, what do you say?
I'm gonna yeah, that was a dope track. Like good energy, fun energy, and when when they were flowing in the verse, they were flowing, and they kept that flow going nice, just that was nice. It was nice. I'm gonna give it I think 8.8. It was nice, If
like a 12.
I don't know.
All right, well, let's get into the battler. The battler is Chuck. Gonna be tough to beat. Loyle, Carner, Polyphilla. LP brought it this week for a battle.
Yes, she did.
Loyle, Carner, everybody. I'm gonna subscribe. Totally different vibe. Cheers, AK.
Trying not to be the man I didn't want to be the person that you'd want to see. The night falls, I'm the one you meet. Stopping at the shops and buying something sweet. Though I was willing, we was able. Put a living on the table. The little image that I cradle to empathise with the villains in the fable that we relate to because it shapes you. I started doing everything that they do. Visions of a father that would taint you. Yeah, shattered like the glass I was chained to. Because I made you, anyone could make you. Yeah, but it's your father that could raise you. Only your mother that could save you. We never had enough, still we went through. Yeah, to break the chains in the cycle, the days that are vital, the places that I. Yeah, see the names in the title, the days of the cycle, this pain, it was my fault. Yeah, cause right away from the chains and the thread, all the pain that could stays in your head. Yeah, I got to stand, yo, I'm wild and the man is an island, but you know I've been trying. Yeah, but is it good enough? Yeah, shiver through my hoodie as I pull it up. Cycle through the city thinking stupid stuff. Acting like I'm quiet but I could've rocked. And I did. Flashing back when we was kids, I see my father blow his lid. Yeah, I used to say I hate the crib, hate the doors, hate the fridge, hate this fucking house I live. Cause there's holes in every wall. And now there's holes in every wall. When it was me and I've been taken for a fool. I hold my son, yo, I've been trying to play it cool, but I'm the villain in the story, the exception to the rule. Did the pressure bust the pipe, build a diamond? Alright. The anger puts a fella on an island. Yeah, you hear the bang, feel the silence. But you know I've been trying to break the chains in the cycle, the days that are vital, the places that I. Yeah, see the names in the title, the days of the cycle, this pain, it was my fault. Yeah, cause right away from the chains and the thread, all the pain that stays in your head. Yeah, I got to stand, yo, I'm wild and the man is an island, but you know I've been. When I was younger, yo, I wanted to be famous. Now that I'm older, yo, I wish that I was nameless. The world's aimless, no one gives a fuck. Times of the essence, I was running out of luck. Getting stuck for a couple bucks, trying to bust a nut. Filling up my plate, but wasn't filling up your cup, yo, I say it's fuck. They even killed the Wolverine. That was the only father figure that I'd seen. I was lost, trying to find something to believe. All them aches and them pain, yeah, from crying on my knees, I was saying please. All this air that I breathe weren't a waste. The glass chin sticking on my feet. I close my eyes and I listen to you sleep. Yeah, find some peace.
I mean, I finally tuned in towards the last 30 seconds, but unfortunately, I think the Conscious Daughters destroyed that song for me. It just ruined anything. It didn't matter what came next, because that song was just so fucking energizing. My consciousness, my empathic mind escaped me during that track. To like the last 30 seconds, I got it back. I reclaimed my emotions. If it went from anger, fighting, and I finally tuned into what he was saying. And like the bar where he said watching Wolverine, that was the only father figure he had. That's right around where I tuned in. I'm like, oh fuck, I missed a lot. So I didn't give it the sound it listens, but hey, it's a battle, and the battler did that to me. So that's got to go points to the Conscious Daughters. They're my new favorite hip hop group right now. I'm going to give it to them. I'm going to give this an 8. I want to listen to it again because I feel like I miss a lot of really cool bars. What are you saying, Chuck?
So I'm not going to vote on it because it's mine, but yeah, it definitely had, you know, I think it doesn't have that, you know, that same kind of energy, obviously, you know, and it's not meant to. No. But, you know, you know, I think lyrically it's pretty heavy, but, you know, he's saying a lot, you know, and really about, I mean, it's in the chorus, you know, kind of trying to break the chains in the cycle, you know, and he kind of finds himself doing some of those same kind of violent and destructive behaviors of his father that he always hated, and he's really trying hard not to be that person to his own kid. You know, and is even just in like, you know, being quick to anger and, you know, punching the wall when you get mad, and, you know, it's just like he sees himself becoming that, and that's what he hated in his own father, and he like really doesn't want that to happen, and he's trying not to, and which like it's heavy, you know, but I don't know. I really like it. I think I also like his delivery when he gets in his, you know, in his conscious headspace. You know, it's a different kind of track, and it's not for everyone. You know, like it definitely doesn't pump you up. It doesn't have that energy. Right. But you know, like it can put you in a thinking headspace. So.
Like I got a great dad. He's 79. He's still married to my mother. He's been a fantastic dad. But until I was around, until I could really carry on an intellectual conversation, he was pretty distant. Until around like, you know, 10 or 11 or 12, once I could actually like have something smart to say, he didn't really give me the time of day. And I love him. I love him to death. We're best friends. But that's something I didn't like from him as a kid. So I do try and be more involved emotionally with
Yeah.
Lionel than my dad was with me when I was a kid. But, makes you think. I want to listen to that song again. The crowd has spoken, though. 78% are giving this one to LP. So, LP, thank
Right on.
you.
Yeah, that was a great track, LP. That really was.
It really was. You killed it. Let's give a big round of applause for LP. She has won a seed to MC Olympics 21.4, which is in 3 weeks on April 7th. Exactly 3 weeks from tonight. We're now going to take a break, everybody. So sit back, relax, go do what you got to do, grab a drink. This is Iggy's Jam. We'll be back shortly after the break, and we will entertain you with 6 more songs and 3 more seeds. Let's do it.
think every song on this album was gonna be all sweet and poetic and pretty and shit. We still get gully around here. Yeah. Square roots. We've been on a mission to listen to the sickest lyrics in existence. We'll persist until it's finished. Pull up a chair, I can see you in the distance. Below the stairs, we don't feed into resistance. The most music like prepared conglomerate of misfits. A toast to the rare, and the need to be consistent. No need to boast a bear, read between the writtens. Ferocious and